Hello, hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay? Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. Let's move. I'm afraid to move that. Sound is good. Hello, Dizzy Pink. Sound of speed. Sound of speed. We good to go? Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. All right. Hopefully everyone is doing good today. I had to move my office. This is the first time with the new setup. I had to move it back home to get it out of my mom's store because I had it there temporarily to help her set up. So now it's back home, and my house is a mess because we are building a bathroom and plumbing and all that stuff. So it's like super cramped and messy and stuff fun. But, ooh, you go, Dizzy. Single digit Q, making it happen. All right. Do we have any 9Q to 7Q volunteers? Yeah, we don't have our own bathroom. We have to use the neighbor's house, which is my mother's, because we are building our house slowly but surely. We're basically building a house with cash instead of financing a house. I don't recommend it, but it's what worked for our financial situation. So we buy like one room at a time. It's a long-term plan. But yeah, I would recommend it if you can avoid it. But for us, it's definitely helping us out financially. So we're about to finally build the bathroom, and currently, honestly, the money isn't the problem right now. It's the time. Um, but yeah, it's coming along, and we're very excited for it. Very, very excited for it. Oh, I need to close something actually, because that will ding-a-ling a lot if I don't close it. But yeah, it's coming along. Our house is coming along. Yes, honestly, I really like it, education-wise, because by building every part of the house yourself, you kind of know every part of the house yourself. Um, so honestly, building the house yourself really makes it easier when you have to repair something or if you want to change something. You know exactly what to do. You know exactly what's behind each wall, where all the wires are, where all the plumbing is. So it's actually really cool. But on the flip side, we're not designers, so really wish I had a designer, but there's pros and cons to it. I think there's a lot of pros and cons. For like I said, for us it works really well. But I think if I had the choice of not being stupid when I was younger, I think I would have preferred financing a house. A small house, anyway. But I'm able to teach you guys for a living, and I wouldn't be able to do that without doing this. So I think I've helped a lot of people with their Go games and stuff. So I think the trade off is worth it. Because I'm able to do what I love. We have a lot more free time. I have too much time for video games lately. I made the mistake of trying to play a video game over the weekend. What was I thinking? And now I'm like, oh, but I can keep playing video games. But no, you have to go to work. Oh, no, I don't. I could put that off. See, I'm a very bad employee for myself. If I'm both the boss and the employee, I'm a great boss. I'm a bad employee. So don't pick up video games over the weekend when you're in charge of your work schedule. It's not smart. But mostly it was because we were building the bathroom and then it started raining and I had a day off and I was like, I've been working, I've been doing my work, I've been doing the labor for the bathroom. I have some time. I should do something to have fun. And I picked up a video game that I haven't played in a while and just started playing it. And then I realized, hey, I need to get some work done. I need to put down the controller. I was having a little too much fun. But I think I needed it. I really needed it, probably, because I haven't played video games in a while. I've been probably working too much in the last several months. Overworked, overstimulated. So I probably needed the video games. But right now, I think the biggest issue is trying to formulate new habits. Ooh, 7Q volunteer. Nice. What's your OGS username? Trying to formulate new habits during a transition. That's the difficult part, I think. That's what I got to be careful of. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. I think my biggest issue is I don't have a very good balance of work and fun. I think I work too much. Even I'm my own boss, but I work too much. Um, and then and the problem with not having to go to work, but being your own boss is you're always thinking about work. And if you're not careful, it could stress you out a lot because you're like, I could take a break right now, or I could get this thing done that I need to get done. And it's not like the work ever ends because, if you stop doing it, you stop making your own living. So you have to keep putting in the work and it's kind of never ending. And I love my work. Don't get me wrong. I love doing what I do. It's just always thinking about it is not healthy. Always thinking about like, how can I improve my lectures? How can I improve my channel? How can I reach more people? How can I grow my Patreon? Blah, blah, blah. See, I actually am focusing more on the YouTube side because the streams were doing really well and that model was working. The problem was as soon as my wife got injured, I had to stop streaming to take care of her because she messed up her legs quite badly. And she couldn't walk and she's barely able to walk now and she's doing great. Um, Yeah, she's able to walk without crutches now, and I'm very happy about it. But because the live stream was feeding the income, um, I'm worried that's a dangerous model to do long term. And so now I'm trying to do YouTube. However, the live stream worked, so it's like, how much of a balance do I need? Like I said, I'm struggling with the balance, right? So the live stream was working. But I also need the YouTube to work. Double Atari. Double T Atari. There we are. Ooh, Saitama. You're just gonna like one punch me and I lose, right? Yeah, I know everyone wants me to do more streaming. I know. I know you guys would love me to do more streaming. I don't know, it's very difficult to dedicate 20, 30 hours a week. Or 20, like 15 to 20 hours a week to live streaming because the amount I'm doing good business wise with lessons and stuff. So the amount of lessons I have plus the amount of videos I need to edit plus I need to make new stuff to reach more people, which I've joined a community to help teach me how to do this YouTube thing. And I'm going to start trying to target some chess players like my next video that I've got the script written. I need to record it. The next one is going to compare Magnus Carlsen and Lee Sedol's income levels, and be like, who makes more money, Magnus Carlsen or Lee Sedol, right? Trying to get more keywords, trying to create new Go players, and not just all of my content only caters to currently existing Go players. And what I really need to focus on is making more content for non-Go players that want to learn, that would be wanting to learn Go, in order to also, positively impact the Go community by creating more players. And by creating more players, I also can create more business for myself. So find ways to relate Go to Fortnite. Yeah, exactly. That's what I have to do. So currently I'm working my way up from just the Go niche to relating it to like chess and maybe some board games. And then if I can take it a step further and relate it to trending games, that would be great. But I also have to make sure that it's still Go related and that my current viewership would still like it. So I'm putting in a lot of effort to research and brainstorm and make my YouTube channel better. That's currently where my efforts are at. And I'm putting in several hours a week to do that as well. Which is why I said, like, I work too much. I'm constantly thinking about what's the next thing that I can do? What's the next thing that I can create? How can I improve my content? How can I improve my stuff? Like, I think I've improved my teaching skills quite a bit over the years, but I've noticed that while my teaching skills are decent, my marketing skills and social media skills are awful. So I'm putting a lot of research and time into learning this. Uh, so that's what I've been focusing on. Probably focusing a little too much though. Then yeah, also home improvement, balancing work versus home stuff, like, chores, home improvement, and then also balancing fun time, which it really shouldn't be, but like me having fun is like really low on my priority list. So I gotta make sure that I actually, do take a break and have fun and not just work all the time. Which I think a lot of people could relate to that. Like, you're so focused on work and building your stuff, especially if you're an entrepreneur, and like you got to make sure that you're doing the work or it just doesn't get done. Your fun time just, goes away. And I'm struggling to find that balance, I think. And I think organization is the best word I can think of. I struggle with organizing all of the things that need to be done. No, I definitely enjoy having fun doing work. Don't get me wrong, like I definitely enjoy it, but like I also want to like do other things. Like I want to spend time with my wife. I want to watch movies and watch animes, right? Anime is another passion of mine. I love watching anime. I want to play video games because I don't play video games very much, and that's one thing I loved to do growing up, is I played video games, and so I tried that this weekend and did it a little too much. Didn't get enough work done. Um, but it's a balance. It's a balance. Organization is what I need. Organization. But yeah, today we do have. Oh, I should not. I don't know. I haven't played Pokemon in many years. I played, I think, the first three generations of Pokemon games. Oh, I know, family. I completely relate. Uh, it's a MOBA. Wow. I really don't like the latest games. I think the latest games and latest movies and TV and everything, honestly, a lot of the things, and I think this is more to the United States. I don't know about the rest of the world because, I mean, the United States is kind of like up its own butt. We don't get a lot of stuff from the other world unless you specifically search for it. But a big thing that's happened the last like 5 to 10 years is a lot of things have gone to how can we maximize profits instead of what's the best thing we can make. I mean, just look at the Blizzard games, right? Um, Actiblizzard instead of Blizzard. I mean, just that. And you compare that to say the Riot Games, which is it has its own cons and stuff, but it's not nearly as bad as like Actiblizzard. Blizzard was such a good company too. I love the Blizzard games, and now I'm like, I don't even know if I want to even play Blizzard games anymore. Yeah. Pokemon, I think for me, it's just been going on too long. Yeah, I think a lot of like TV shows and games in America, produced by America in the last 5 to 10 years, um, at least by the large businesses and corporations and stuff, I think it's just too focused on profit and maximizing profit. Not enough focus on creating something good. Yeah. That's one thing I really like about Go, is that it doesn't change. But honestly, Go has the exact opposite problem. There's not enough money in Go. We need more profit in Go. We need more income. Like one thing I would love to do is generate more income so I could start sponsoring things. That's one of like my dreams is like to make enough income that I can sponsor tournaments or sponsor people to try things or just find sponsors to run large events and stuff. Um, yeah. Yeah, Go is all about the profits. It's all about the positive exchange rate. Um, Chess is definitely more popular, but it's not like Go's not popular. It's like even in the chess community, I've watched some chess videos doing research for how chess streamers do versus how Go streamers do. Um, it's not like chess players don't know what Go is, right? So, and then honestly, the chess collabs that I've done, I actually created several Go players from the chess collabs that I did. Um, yeah, Go is not set up right now for new people, I think. I think Go is still needs to be developed. I think it's still in its baby phases. Yeah, I like the idea of Go on Steam. Honestly, I've been so focused on like reaching Go players, and this is one thing that I've been learning in the community that I joined, is I need to find ways to reach non-Go players. So for example, I instead of just having a Patreon for my YouTube, I need to have like a Udemy course. I need to have um what is that other one? Fiverr, Teachable. I need to like have all courses on all of those platforms, I think. Hello, D-Man. But I'm trying to focus on like how do I make Go more mainstream? And I think if I can do that, it'd be a lot of fun. It'll be really useful, not just for me, but for the Go community in general. Need to be like Hikaru Nakamura for chess, and get all the big streamers and YouTubers to play Go. That's the dream. That's the dream. All right. Back to the focus of today's stream, though. Like I love talking with you guys, but I probably should not talk forever. Um, we do have the Clossi Approach series today. Yeah, if we had some pros and amateurs streaming. Well, we have to have a community for them to stream too. Like, I mean, think about would it even be worth their time? And technically, there are pros that are playing that are doing YouTube. Like, look at Yanwu, GoPro Yanwu. Then there's a couple other pro players that are doing YouTube channels. So yeah, Yeah. Yeah. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and launch into the Clossi Approach video. So we're gonna send the challenge first. By the way, if you guys haven't tried it, try some Fisher Time. I've been playing with it, and it's actually quite fun. Yep. Random send challenge. Yeah, I taught CL Smith and did a collab with him actually.
Game started.
I don't know QQ Scrupple, so they'll have fun. We're going to pause
game paused.
All right, let's restart the recording. Hello everyone, we are back with another Clossi Approach series video, and today we have a volunteer double Atari. Thank you for volunteering, and yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. We're just going to continue with our single digit Q basics.
Game resumed.
All right, we've already said hello, have fun, so I'm just going to do cross, because that's what I like doing as whites. Okay, he does 3-4, so I like going 4-4. I like doing the opposite. You gonna do Chinese, or what are we doing? All right. So one thing I could definitely do is start going over here to try to disrupt his combination, because it looks like he's going for some sort of Kobayashi or maybe a 2-space high kind of thing. So a lot of the times it could be fun to try to just go over here and break his combination. However, this leads to a really big fighting game, so it requires heavily on reading. So I would say probably that is 5Q plus. So for now, I'm just going to stick to just defending. But that is an idea that you can consider. If you're a big fighter and you want to make the game reading heavy, you can think about that. Okay. I think this one is a bit slow compared to the attachment, because we're single digit Q now, so we should be attaching. So technically I can ignore this one, because if he plays 3-3, I just make a 2-space jump. So it should be possible to ignore this. So I'm going to go take the Shamari, because that is the next big thing to do. And I'll go low, because I'm on my opponent's side. If you want to respond, their responses should be H4. And then you go, and that's fine. It's just they have another stone. But you do have a base, so that's probably also fine. Okay, so we still have Miai. We will want to come back here at some point, but for now, according to the AI, this lean is very big. So we can do this. We could also ignore, since it's still 1-1, we could also ignore and play the 3-3, which is also really big. And then Knight's move is the thing I would think about after that. Oh, actually, where is this thing? There's a program that I downloaded that I just remembered that I had, but I can't remember what it's called. It's something that Dwyron actually recommended, it's some sort of pen tool. There we go. There we go. And then this is something Batsko, Dwyron, actually recommended, was me to have something like this. So let's go this. I think it's just do that. Let's see. So I have 3-3. I have lean. And I have that. Yeah, can you guys see that? Oh crap. Yeah. Oh no, you can't see it. Oh no, because it's not a display capture, it's a window capture. Oh well. Oh well. Okay. All right. Maybe next time. Chat, remind me next time before we start. I'll go ahead and erase all that. Yeah, because it's not a display capture, it's a window capture. It's okay. All right, so he's jumping. So first things first, let's read. Push there, cut Atari, Atari there. That's pretty nice. But if I cut right here and he connects, Atari, I do have the ladder. Am I okay with that? I think so. Yeah, I think I'm good with that. So I think what I just did here was, again, habits. Before I did anything, I read the cutting points. A browser extension? That might be a good idea, Dizzy. So the habit here was he played a 1 point jump, so I read the cuts. So read out ladder breaker and everything else. So that's what it is. So yeah, if you can cut, cool, but don't ever just do it. Always read it before you attempt it. I think that's a big habit that you want to build here. Another thing I could have done was I could have also like looked at some other moves and then compared it to these cuts, which probably I should have done as well. Is took a little bit more time. All right, Atari or Nobi? So Atari. There's Aji in the corner. Fight Nobi. I think Atari's fine. I think it's the same thing. I'm just gonna Atari. Probably Nobi is better, but hey, we'll see. All right, and so far so good. Nothing crazy yet. Another habit would be if I didn't know this Joseki. If I didn't know this, like he jumped. So that one I haven't seen in a long time. Usually it's push. So, okay, I had to read it out. Maybe I didn't know the result. After this game, what I should do is look it up and figure out what variations I have access to. So every time there's a pattern that you don't know, the habit of looking it up after the game is another really useful habit to build. Okay, so I'm alive. I'm pretty good. So big move, probably top side. So I kind of want territory, so I'm gonna go here. I could have also 3-3'd, but I'm a little bit worried about him doing something on my left side. So making my left side strong because this is a Miai, which means he can play right here in Sete. So just keeping that in mind, I want to keep the left side strong. But if you don't understand that idea, maybe it'd be better if you played like a extension right here or just fixed earlier on so you didn't have to worry about it. But I'm taking into account the bullying black can do right here and just making the left side stronger. But But probably it would be simpler if I simply had just finished the Joseki earlier for this move, and then went over here. Then black could have had a little bit more of an initiative, but it would have been a simpler game, which might be easier for this level. So I've been watching some chess streams, and I like how they can show what they're reading with like arrows and stuff. I wish we had that in Go, so you could show like do or like numbers or whatever, like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 blah blah blah. So you know, like you kind of like the tools in the demo, or the game review, but during live game. That'd be kind of cool to be able to do during the game, so I could show you guys like what I'm looking at. All right, so this one is just take. I could go here, but it's just a forcing move. I could push, but why? So let's just take. Yeah, oh, so would have to not disable analysis and I could do it? Okay. I'm alive. So this slide is just so I don't get surrounded and he gets the right side. Oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind, Mac Daddy, for next time. The 3-3 is really big. I should just 3-3. Big move. This is like a really big move. It's like the last opening move. So I should just do it. It's really big. Okay. And we're just playing Joseki. Okay. So he's going for the old-fashioned Joseki, which is slightly good for white. Because now I have this peep, which will make the right side a little bit easier, especially without a Nobi. So now there's potentially a cut in the future as well. So the right side is getting big. So before reducing, definitely want to slide first to check the territory. But let's see. I have peep, and then go to the third. I have slide. I could technically invade. And then I have reductions like a peep, cap, shoulder hits. Probably shoulder hit here too. I can also attach right here. That might be more modern. There. I think I can. I think I could attach Hane, connect Nobi. Because Atari and push in, I can cut. He can Atari, and I Atari out, then Atari in. But that's probably too much reading for 9Q. Let's just keep it simple. Let's just slide. Slide is simple. Slide is simple. So I haven't talked about a slide a lot in this series, because usually slide is only important with bases. In this case, it has to do kind of with, I guess you could call it the base of the position. Because he can surround me right here and completely block this right side. So before I go in, I could just reduce it. Would ladder breaker be overplay? I don't know what ladder you're talking about. I'm assuming this ladder. Atari there, Atari. Yeah, so you're looking at this ladder. First off, is there a net? No, because you didn't Nobi. There's no net. Yeah, you should have Nobi and there would have been a net. I wouldn't say it's overplay, but probably just make it so the ladder doesn't matter. Because you can technically just jump and chase. Now you have a lot of Aji. I'm not saying it's like a lot of stuff. I'm not saying it's nothing, but it's also not the end of the world, because you're the one who played this position, so you kind of have to deal with it. If you have to fix your own move, then it was a bad move. So, for example, if you would have no-bead, that would have been a net. So you jumped instead. So if you create a problem for yourself with your own moves that you have to come back and fix, then you want to revisit that when you review the game. You want to look for that, like, could you have just made a better shape so you didn't have to fix it later? So these types of moves I call, I don't really have a name for it, but basically I kind of think of it as, you think you're getting more now, but you're actually getting less, because later you have to spend more moves to fix it. So moves like these look like they do more, but they actually do less. Because if you have to come back later, then you spent more moves overall. So that's kind of the thinking here. So you don't really have time to fix it. You're just gonna have to deal with it because you created this position. You can't just go fix your own stuff because you just lose moves. And since we're at single digit queue, we can't just lose moves. Now, to be efficient about it, I would probably think about shoulder hit for black here. I'm kind of telling black how to play, but how be thinking about shoulder hit for black here? Since I told you that one, I'm gonna go ahead and take it away from you. I'm gonna go ahead and take it away from you. But that's what I'd be thinking about, because rather than a ladder breaker, which is kind of like too passive, I would want to be active with my defense. So I want to like make it so it's not worth it for them to do, or it would create a bad position. So like if they cut, what's the bad thing that happens? Can I fix it while doing bigger things? And it's kind of like that double purpose idea, which is not super great at single digit queue because it's just, a lot to think about. But you kind of have to play at a higher level if you made the mistake in the first place. I don't know if that makes any sense. By having bad shape, you make the game harder for yourself, which by requiring more reading, and also creating more Tsujis for your opponent. So if you had played simpler shape, you could have played simpler follow-ups. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so we fixed perfectly fine. So I'm gonna push one more because I don't want the block to be Sente. I guess it's not Sente, but this is Sente, and I can just fix it so the block does nothing to me. So I just fix problems in Sente is all I'm thinking. Okay, so we both have some influence. So probably I'm going to pick my standard reduce while building idea. Okay. So my first instinct is the shoulder hit, but that's clearly an elephant's eye. So let's check this move. The response is usually a knight's move. Is that okay? I honestly don't know. Yeah. You should always check the cutting points. If you want to watch the series, it's the most important thing to do at single digit queue, at queue level in general, is you should always be reading these cutting points. And so whenever you play, you want to keep the cutting points in mind. It's the most undervalued thing at single digit queue, is reading the cutting points before you play. It's super, 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 super important. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this. Love you.
I'm sitting here pushing the button and it wasn't doing anything.
Okay, let's just Clossi Approach it.
秒読み
One of these moves. One of these moves feels like the answer. What is the best shape here? I don't know. This feels maybe decent. Here, I think what I'm doing here is actually exactly what I was telling you to do, that you should have done with this L17, is I'm thinking about the cutting points and the shapes before I play. So this is a good thing to train yourself to do, is you want to think about the relationship between your stones. So you already have the concept. I want to build while reducing, right? That one's easy enough to do. But you need to think about what's the shape I want to do. So my first instinct was shoulder hit, right? But this creates an elephant's eye. So I read the cuts. I don't like it, right? So I'm trying to jump, but that doesn't feel like it does enough. So I try to knight's move, and that cut a point is possible, but I would like to get one line further. So maybe a large knight's move. Check the cutting points. So I have a plan. If he pushes, I can Tari in the tiger's mouth and maybe fight him in my area. So I have a plan for the cutting point. Now, whether it's a good plan or not, I'll have to like see the result and review. But I'm constantly thinking about what are the cutting points here while still doing my job of reduce while building. And I want to try to do it as efficiently as I can while also taking into account the cutting points and everything else. So it's kind of it's just bringing all that together into a move. And the idea here is build that habit of checking your cutting points before you even place down the stone. That way you aren't surprised by it.
10, 9, 8,
Just keep up
7,
the same plan.
6,
Can,
5, 4.
That looks too dangerous. It just looked too dangerous to me. Like this black stone's too close, and it's looked like I would get surrounded faster. That one was probably more experience, I guess. Because I had to like speed read that. Okay, Nobi, check the Hane, definitely not. Yeah, just Nobi. I could have spent more time in the Byoyomi to potentially count, so that was a mistake on my part. I played too fast. Okay, do I want to respond to this? He can push Hane there. He can jump, push there, cut, run. Yeah, this Tsuji right here for black looks like a good all or nothing move. Maybe not even all
10,
or nothing move, actually. It just looks
9,
dangerous. So probably I'll
8,
just go here.
7, 6, 5.
Yeah, let's respond. It's fine. It's fine. I wanted to consider other stuff, but ran out of time. It's more important to read it correctly. Okay. Now, I'm not going to respond to Yosei, so let's think about the big move. Largest framework? Probably mine. All right. So I'm going to do a cool thing that I think a lot of you guys might like. I'm going to play this attachment because it's single digit Q. We learned attachments,
10,
and using attachments
9,
to build Moyo
8,
is actually quite
7.
an interesting tactic. But this is very much single digit Q because it's very reading intensive. So the idea is when they Hane, you just reverse Hane. And you both build stuff. So, yeah, I think this is an interesting idea. Just want to show off. I don't know if it's the best move. Shoulder hit might have been better, but I thought it'd be good, just a good lesson, just to show you guys the idea. So again, Hane, I could consider this if I was thinking about territory, trying to make a Miai, but I think mine's fine, so I'm just gonna build. Okay, and then fix my cut. If they fix, you fix. And ta-da, Mayo! Okay, now would be a good time to count, so let's go ahead and do that. I think we can count a single digit Q, right? We can at least box count. So let's say 10, 15, 20, we can cycle period to do this. So let's go
10,
ahead and start doing this.
9,
30, 40,
8,
50, 60,
7,
70,
6,
80, at least.
5, 4,
probably 90.
3,
Let's see,
2,
10, 20,
1.
30,
4 periods
40,
left.
50, 60. Oh, yeah, I'm good. So even if they 3-3, I still have reductions over here. So I'm good. I'm good. It's a good judgment call to make. Make sure that his is not getting too big. Okay, so here, first things first, take away the corner and the eye space. Now I actually have to kill this stone. So first I'm going to take away the eye space in the corner. Okay, because that's immediate life if they get in there. So now after I've done the obvious move, now I have to start using the killing tactics. Okay, so keep them off the second line. Can I go here? I think that's too much. So I have to go here. Okay, reduce the eye space from the second line. It's the same tactics that we used to kill the 3/3. Okay, reduce the eye space. Because we're at step 3. Reduce eye space. I should be spending more time here. I kind of already know the ideas that I want to do, though. But definitely want to spend a lot of time here. Okay, Tiger's Mouths are Vita Points. We have this peep and this peep. This one's probably better. Then can he surround the stone? He can force it, but it should be fine. This one, I feel like he's just going to run this way too much, so just take this away from him. Okay. Push, cut, Atari, connect, connect. This is dead. Okay, he does get to surround me, but keeping him off the edge is probably good enough. I do need to start watching this area as well. So potentially I could Atari right here and connect. That actually might be better. Because I'm not worried about one eye, I'm worried about two. So which one has a better future for black? Atari connect. There. There.
10,
There.
9,
Jump.
8,
There,
7,
there.
6,
There.
5, 4, 3.
This one looks better. Yep. Consider both. Read as much as you can. Make a decision. Okay. Take pretty much the only move. Okay, I'm not worried about that. That is only one eye and will ever only be one eye. I can take the table shape Vita Point here. I could just connect, which seems pretty strong.
10, 9,
Yep,
8,
so let's
7.
kill it with strength. Okay. 1 point jumps are where he wants to go. The Tiger's Mouth, I can Atari or push. So as long as he can't do any Tiger's Mouth and Sente.
10, 9, 8, 7,
Yeah,
6,
we're good.
5, 4,
Let's push him
3.
closer to white. Oh, yeah, I can lower the volume. Sorry. Let me make sure the desktop's... Yeah, the desktop's muted. That one's not. Sorry, I had it coming off twice for you guys. Okay, Elven's Eye is Knight's move to surround it. So, yeah, just keep going. Okay, we're just going to block. Check our cutting. So, because if we do this one, we have 2 cutting points. This one's 1 cutting point. So it's less forcing moves. Yep. Just surround it and it should die. Alright, so let's just immediately make that a false eye. Actually, we don't need to lose the liberty. It's a false eye no matter what. So let's just stay strong. Yep. Stay strong. That's all we have to do is stay strong here. Okay. Just take the shape. Easy peasy. Then we're probably going to look at this tiger's mouth. Or this one. But this one is starting to surround. This one, he can jump. So let's go here. Take the tiger's mouth. Just take the Pinukis. Take the tiger's mouths. Take the 1-point jumps. That's how they live. Forcing moves and tiger's mouths. That's how they will make life. Okay, so I can Hane, but the shape looks questionable. What if I Nobi? Can a Knight's move? Push their cut. Tari, there. That's probably too much reading. Let's Hane. There,
10,
Nobi,
9,
tigers,
8, 7,
fix,
6,
push,
5,
Hane. Too much
4,
reading again.
3.
This one's more solid though. I feel like I'm reading too much. But reading's important. Reading's important. Just read as far as you can. And then just keep pushing yourself. Read as much as you can as far as you can. If you want to improve your accuracy, you need to do go problems. You want to you want to improve your speed, you need to do. So the way I see it is, for single digit Q players, you need to do single digit Q problems to learn new tactics. To improve your speed, you need to do double digit Q problems in 30 seconds. And then as you get stronger, you want to do the single digit Q problems in 30 seconds.
7, 6.
So for Dawn players, what you would want to do is do single digit Q problems, like on the 1-on-1 Wei Chi spreadsheet that we have. And if you don't have that, just check our Discord. We will be happy to give that to you. It's freely available for everyone. But for Dawn players, do the single digit Q problems and then do like 100 to 200 a day. And just do them in like 30 seconds. Like, get your accuracy to the point where you can read single digit Q stuff in 30 seconds. Just stay connected. I'm just playing defense right now. So I don't, like, I could consider the cut, but like, why bother? Just defense, focus on defense. Thank you for the follow, Femi Colon. Hello, Fasifu. Thank you for the follow, to Russell. I wish it told me like when people subscribed on YouTube. That way you'd be like, thank you for the sub. Shout out to the YouTube. Okay, my first instinct is here. This is the 1-point jump for black. So push there, push. I think I have to fix that B9, so that would not be good.
9,
So let's just push
8,
this first.
7, 6, 5, 4.
And then block the jump. I wonder if black could have done stuff. I don't know. All right, and that should be a kill. It seems scary, but uh, it's one of the things you have to learn. And if your opponent does it to you, and you struggle with dealing with it, you could play on Foxway Chi, the Chinese Go server. They like to invade stuff a lot too. And then from there, it's just, trial by fire. You gotta practice, 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 practice. And then review and review and review. Is there a way to survive in that area? Not without starting at the 3-3 or something. You can't, like, if it's sealed like this, you can't expect to live in there without Aji. That's probably too much. Otherwise, like, sealing this would never be a good strategy if it's always invadable. But once an area is sealed, then the inside should die. With the exception of, like, Aji in the corner. Because there's, like, a peep right here and then a 3-3. And potentially that could make a ko or make life.
10,
Yeah.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Um,
4, 3, 2.
I'm just going to take. Now I have 2 eyes, so it'll never be a capturing race. That's the only thing I'm worried about right now. Don't need to respond. Yeah, I'll go ahead and respond. That's push, and then push, push, and then cut. Yeah, I'll go ahead and respond. There might be cutting points there. And if there's a might, I'm not even gonna... Hey, Zenith! Welcome, welcome. If there's even a potential, I'm not gonna worry about it. Yeah, it's hard to make a ko without tiger's mouths. That's why I say if you need to kill something, attack it from the tiger's mouth. Because the tiger's mouth is where things start going wrong. All right, so here, there's not a Moyo right here because it's sealed, right? So this is just a few points. So I need to get to push. So let's start playing some Yosei.
10,
Boop. Boop. Just start my Yosei. Okay. Is there a clamp? See, clamp, go down, cut. And then if they Atari, of course it dies, so they have to cut and capture the stone. So the question is, can I do anything with 2 stones right here? Atari, there, Hane, my 2 stones over here die.
9,
Probably not
7,
any
6,
single digit,
5,
any 9Q thing.
4,
So let's just reduce.
3.
Yeah, let's just reduce. I don't think I can do anything that I could read a single digit Q. There might be some confusion stuff right here that I could do that peeps it indirectly, but not worried about it. Not worried about it. Let's just reduce like normal. Actually, I think this is Sentai. Yeah, so this is Super Sentai, so I'm just gonna keep pushing. Like, that's the entire area. I feel like now there's something with this, but it's okay. I'm not gonna worry about it. So let's push right here, because that's Sentai. We're just gonna do all of our Sentai. Okay. Push. Okay. Push. Now, I believe I can Hane here. Because if a Hane, cut, Atari, there, cut, and this only has 2 liberties, and there's no way to ladder this. So it's kind of like a Yosei Tsuji. For a point. I'm not sure if this is single digit Q or not, though.
10, 9, 8.
Let's just go here.
7,
I'm not. I don't know. I don't think it's single digit Q. But little Yosei Tsujis like that are super useful. If your opponent doesn't know Yosei, there's a lot of little Tsujis that can gain you several points at a time, especially if they play it wrong. So if you want to improve your Yosei by like 10 points or even like 15 points, I highly encourage you to get some Yosei books and do Yosei problems. Or maybe find a Yosei problem set on OGS. They might have one. You can check really quick. Puzzles. Search for Yosei. Yosei SDK. I guess I put some up. In 2019, I put some up. There's only 7 of them though. So actually, no. So if anyone wants to make that, that'd be great.
10, 9, 8,
Um.
7, 6, 5.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Go books. Recommendation would be Yosei. Okay, I think this one should be easy enough to see now. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it because I think this one's easy enough to see now. Maybe I cut wrong. I should have pushed. I know I can do something. I know I can, but fine. 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 I know there's a Tsuji here. I gotcha. Yeah, I think a book on Yosei would be pretty good for most people. I would say, like, you need to have an idea of the opening and the middle game before you start working on Yosei. Because if you keep dying, then it doesn't matter. Yosei doesn't matter. You need to stop dying, right? But from once you can like get to the end game on a regular basis, Yosei becomes like extraordinarily important. Like it becomes as important as like everything else you're gonna learn in this game. Which I guess goes without saying. But yeah, Yosei is worth probably if you're actually I know there's some people that watch this series that have been going from 20Q to single digit Q and likely in the future as well. If you're improving really fast, I guarantee you can improve your Yosei by at least 20 points. I already let you fix the Tsuji.
10,
It's okay.
9, 8, 7,
I'll go here. Yeah, it's good. Oops. Oopsie. Oopsie. Cutting points. Most important thing at single digit Q. Okay, we're just gonna block. Easy peasy. All right, and just keep reducing. Oh. Is this? No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Push. Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. I want a Hane right here. But after he blocks and blah, 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 all this finishes, after all this resolves, there's a nose to Tsuji. So that's annoying.
10,
Can I fix?
9, 8, 7.
Oh, I need to block this up
5.
here. That's big. That's a monkey jump. That's a pretty big move. Can't do that without the Liberty, unfortunately. can push first, but it doesn't matter. Does not matter. If you connect first and then push later, they might sometimes block and give you Sente. So it'd be better connect and then just push later. Little mind tricks. Mind tricks. Unless it's like the very end of the game, like, and there's nothing else for them to do. See, I still get it anyway, but I gave them the chance to lose Sente. I'm gonna fix right here. Just so I can start doing other stuff. Okay. Okay. This is becoming big. Is that Sente? Tari there. Looks Gote. That is unfortunate. Okay. Do I have to start blocking now?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Gotta start blocking now. Is that Sente? That is not Sente. Okay. So don't do that, so I can block right here. So can't do anything. Tari there, Tari there. Nope. Okay. Always read your cutting points. Watch those goose Tsujis. Okay. Push. Let's do this. This is Gote, but the only other Sente I have is right here, but I kind of want to do that. Since it's throwing Gote, this is a big Gote because it might set up a Goose Tsuji later. Or I can just get a point. Okay. I guess just fix. Just fix. I kind of want to do this, but it's Gote, so. Let's just do that. Okay, and then take this one. This is a big Gote. All right. Satari. This is 1.5. That's 1, and this is 1. I guess it's 1.75. Oh, it was actually 2 points. Okay, cool. This is a point, so this is bigger. This is a 1.5. This is 2 points. Because Sente. Lose a lot of points in Yosei. That cut didn't work. You gotta read it before you fix it. Habits are important. Okay, so let's fight the Ko. Let's fight the Ko. And if you're like, oh, you're already ahead. Why are you fighting the Ko? No, my teacher told me always fight for the point. Always, you need to, even if you're ahead, you still got to play the correct moves. even if you're ahead. You always fight the co. Always fight for that last point. Okay. I think this one's better. I'm trying to think co-threats in the future co-threats. I think this one's less co-threats. Okay. Where's my co-threat? Where's my co-threat? Here's a good one. I like this one better though. This one gives me more. You're supposed to go for the biggest co-threats first though. So this one's pretty large. Or this one.
10,
This one first. This one might lose this one. Okay. Doot. I guess this one's bigger than 3 stones. That is definitely Sente. Boop. Boop. Yep. That's a good one. And also gives another co-threat. Boop. Mm-hmm. I believe this one is better. Mm-hmm. Oop. Yeah, that's pretty big. Tari. You have 1, 2. Is that Sente? I connect. Yatari's. I false eye it. Yatari's this way. It's false eye. Hinobi's. I connect.
six, 7,
Does he get 1 point for the capture?
5,
I'll give you that because I think the capture might be worth a point. I forget the math on that. Atari, Tanegi. Tanegi, Atari, there. No, I was right the first time. I think it wasn't a point. Okay. Boop. A 12? Yeah, he has a lot of cut threats in this dead group. That is very Sente. Boop. Running out of code threats. Only got a few more. Only got a few more. All for a 1.5.
You have won.
Oh, time. Thank you for the game. All right, so just so we can see the impact of Yosei, because it is important for this level to understand it. Okay, so we started Yosei on this turn. So white is up by 58 points. And at the end, white is up by 80 points. So 21 and a half. Okay. So that's so Yosei is very important. Now, realistically, you're not going to be able to improve a Yosei by 20 points. That just takes a lot of time. You're not going to be able to just like study it for a week and improve it 20 points. But improving it 10 points is very reasonable. Or even 15 points is potentially reasonable as well. So just to show you the power of Yosei. Power of Yosei. Okay, so let's review this game.
Review started.
All right. If I wanted to go here and let black do that, that's fine too. I think this is probably easier to use. For black, though, exchange here. So it's Sente, and then you can respond. And then it's still third line, fourth line. Still fine. Normally, it's here. Like that. Or jump here. But it's not like this move isn't something to think about. I just haven't seen it in a long, long time. Here, pass there. Okay, yeah, one is a bad move. Okay, never mind. I thought it might be quite interesting, but apparently it's a bad move. This says good. Okay, so if you play here, it leads to this, which is this, which is this, which is this. Black might need a ladder block for this position first. This requires a favorable ladder, yeah. This is if the ladder, yeah, good for black. So this says good for black from the lessons in the fundamental of Go. But I went here. This is a mistake. Okay, I didn't even punish it correctly. But yeah, it's probably not a normal Joseki. You knew the Joseki was... Okay, hold on. So you knew the Joseki for the corner, but you were scared to use a Joseki against the Dawn player. So you instead to go outside to use no Joseki against the Dawn player. I feel like there's a flaw in the plan to try to improvise a corner against the Don player and make it like, because whenever you like go outside of Joseki knowledge, it becomes reading and judgment. Reading and judgment, exclusively reading and judgment. Josekis are better against stronger players than trying to improvise. Now, if you want some trick move Josekis or some unconventional Josekis, that would be fine, but make sure you study those, right? But not using a Joseki at all is probably going to backfire. Now, I could have punished this better, but I still think this is perfectly fine for white. Okay, and again, I'm looking at, like, this kind of stuff. Is why I was like, maybe this stone was making me nervous, actually. Is why I chose this instead of, like, doing something like this. Because, like... Now what? Maybe I just go here and you just fix, and then my stone's in a weird position. So the lean on P4 is a common move if black Tanukis, so I would definitely study that one. But again, like I said at the start of the video, like, anytime you don't know a Joseki, like, go look it up after the game. It's really good habit. Learn Josekis one at a time, and that way it's relevant Josekis. It's Josekis that happen to you. Instead of, like, trying to say, okay, I saw this in a pro game once, but no one plays it at your level, that's not a Joseki that you want to learn right now. You want to learn the Josekis that are relevant. And then you constantly learn new Josekis. You don't ever stop that. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of Josekis. So yeah, I actually kind of like that you fixed me here, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm not sure what you're after here. Kind of getting Moyo, I guess. So I guess it's fine. But I just went and played a big move. I was actually a little bit worried about this because I don't know this one very well. I was like, well, guess we're going to have to read. But I was thinking, I can't remember if you can do this Nobi or not against this move. Maybe, like, you can't unless I hunt. I don't know. I don't know that one just well enough. But you should probably go here and then just revert it. This one is the old pattern, and the old pattern we now know is slightly good for white. Especially if you jump right here, you saw the Karaji is just annoying. Alright, so I played shoulder hit, just reduce. That was the takeaway your move. I kind of like this one. It fixes quite quickly, but you could also go here. Okay, and I'm just building. I thought about this, but I thought this result might... I didn't really have a follow-up to this. Like, maybe I got Hane. But, like... I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's not. Hey, see, it's tricky. It's tricky. So I was like, nah. Then I considered the 1-point jump, and I thought that was too passive. So I consider the 2-space jump, and then peep, and then here. So I consider the Knight's move to try to push it while building with the Knight's move. So I was like, okay, maybe here. That's how I ended up at this one. And then I was reading that didn't seem that bad for me. Like, I could fight this. So I'm reading the cuts and just trying to make good shape. Why S8 instead of S9? Because if I go S9, now I'm kind of invested in this area a bit. Well, I guess it doesn't. I guess this one doesn't work. Normally this works. Normally the Aji's too much. I assumed the Aji would be too much. So you might be right. I was just trying to like make one. All I was trying to do is I was trying to get to this move or get up here, and I didn't want him blocking with some Aji. So I'm like, okay, let's just kill the Aji and then go play here. But if that works, it works. So probably black just goes right here. You might be right. I think you're right. I think you're right. I was just trying to block it. Because I wasn't even looking over here. I was looking at reduction. But probably locally, you're right. I did consider this one to keep pushing while building, but... if you look at this stone, you can see this looks a lot safer than the one over here did. If you compare that to see, the line is straight up and down versus this one where the line is like right here. You see how it's at an angle? So it's, I feel a lot more trapped in this one than this one. This one, black feels more trapped than me. Even here, I could even cut. Like this one, black feels a lot more trapped. This one, I feel a lot more trapped. Like, it's scary. I could still cut, but you see it's a lot more difficult to read. So I'm like, eh, no problems. Just jump. So here I think black was making a mistake blocking because whites is bigger than blacks, and so in the Clossi approach, you want to play on the largest framework. So if you want to deal with whites, then maybe just go deal with it like this. Or go in now. Like, I think now, if you want to deal with whites, you need to do it now. Because if you build yours, and I build mine, and mine is bigger, then destroy both. But why build yours and me build mine if mine is bigger? It just doesn't make sense. Here I was just showing off an attachment idea. So it's just another tactic to learn. But invading at this point is way too late. If you're going to invade, you have to try to use the Aji here. But I already was planning to let you live in the corner. Like, when I counted, I didn't really care if you lived in the corner. I was going to do that, and then, like, maybe clamp and reduce. I thought I was ahead with this board, so I didn't care. But if you go here, living on the edge is, like, impossible here. After I seal it. Like, where's your force moves? Even if you go, like, right here. Where do you go? There's nowhere to go. So, if you wanted to deal with the Moyo, you need to deal with it when I start building it. You need to say, I'm going to play in the biggest framework. I'm not going to just build mine and let them build theirs when theirs is bigger. Because if you realize at the end of the variation, oh, mine's smaller, well, that means you're not seeing what's going to happen. It means you're not playing on the largest framework. You're not reading ahead. You're just kind of like, I'm just going to do my own thing and then deal with the consequences. And sometimes those consequences are you lose the game. So this is a good all or nothing move, but it is an all or nothing move. At this point, you're gonna resign if this dies. Is the idea? Like, if that dies, it's over. Now, if you just play out Yosei, it's probably over as well. In games with single digit Q, you survive. Ah, well, this comes from you gotta die to learn. You gotta lose to learn. So that's why. I understand. I understand that mindset. Like, if it works, why would you not do it, right? But if we want to learn, then we need to learn why this move doesn't work. So what I teach is I normally say, don't do this in the first place, and then build the area. Like, you need to play white's moves, not black's moves, because if you don't do this in the first place, and you can prevent this position in the first place on this turn by playing on the largest framework, follow the Clossi approach, and you won't get into that position in the first place if you're following the Clossi approach. But as white, you will get into this position by following the Clossi approach, because as white, you will build a big framework, and then your opponents are going to go in. However, it's easier to learn how to kill and how to play correctly than it is to stop playing the wrong move. And once your opponents start killing you. Because instead of thinking, oh, like here it's like, oh, I built the area, now I just need to learn how to attack. But the route that you're going is, oh, this move works, but when your opponents start killing it, you need to think, oh, or you're going to start thinking, oh, how could I have played differently to live in there? But you're not supposed to live in there. Like, that's fundamentally wrong. You're not supposed to live after it's sealed. So rather than rather than you thinking that I should have played something different to live, you need to realize that you're not supposed to live. And when your opponents live against you, then that means you need to learn how to attack. So that way you're learning in the proper direction instead of building a bad habit right now, which is kind of why I teach you not to do this in the first place. Is when you're learning a bad habit right now, it's harder to break a bad habit than it is to learn the correct response. However, I know a lot of people get frustrated at this part of the game where they say, I know they'll be playing like white and they'll be like, I know that this is the correct plan, but my opponents go in and they always live. And so it never works for me and it makes me mad, blah, blah, blah. I can't retrust it. I can't trust the basics. I'm not strong enough to kill this, even though I know I should. And you get upset about it. But that's what we call the trial by fire. You have to like go lose a lot of games to gain the experience and then review those games to learn the proper ways to play. So in other words, the only reason I can kill this stone is because I've lost enough games to my opponent living in here that I eventually learned what they need to live, so I just take it away. So by losing those games, I learned this. Now, you do also have to, like, going back to your comment, just because a plan works against your level doesn't mean it's a good plan. However, it's really hard to know which plans are not good plans. Yeah, exactly, Dizzy. I love that. You trade rank for a free lesson. It's really hard to know which plans are not good plans at the higher levels and they only are plans that work at your level if no one tells you. Like it's like so hard to know. That comes with game reviews, lessons, lectures, books. Basically, someone stronger than you has to show you. Unfortunately, there's no easy way to do that, right? You either have to have someone stronger explain it to you, or you have to get strong enough that you start dying, and then die enough times that you realize you can't live in there. And so that technically takes longer than someone just telling you. But those are the two ways to learn it. So I won't say that this idea is bad on you, because if it works against your opponents, of course you should do it, right? It makes sense. However, I'm letting you know now that technically, after the position is sealed, you're not supposed to be able to live without some forcing moves, some sort of exchange. If there's no exchanges and no forcing moves, you're not supposed to live. Now, from that knowledge, you have to learn on your own, right? So you have to learn, well, how do I deal with this in the first place? Well, you're not supposed to let it happen, which we talked about playing on the biggest framework. How do you kill your opponent? Well, I showed you how to kill in this game. I took the tiger's mouths, took the 1-point jumps, etc. Right? So you start with, this is like what the answer is, and then you work on the process of how to get to that answer with moves. If hopefully that makes sense. So I understand that this works against your level, so that doesn't mean it's a bad move for your level. And I want to stress that bad moves are relative to your level. I don't care if a pro says it's bad. It's relative to your level. But I'm letting you know going forward that this move should die once you get strong enough. Your opponents are going to start killing it eventually. So if you want to invade, use forcing moves that create a combination. But I would say a bigger lesson is, it may work right now to let your opponent build and then invade. But technically, if we're building good habits for the higher ranks so we don't get stuck later, it'd be better to take our time and just learn how to deal with it now. And just destroy both. It would just be better to play the proper moves now and go a little bit, win a little bit less games, but overall we'll get stronger faster, because when you're winning right now, but once you get to a point where they can kill your stones, you're gonna have to learn all that anyway. You're gonna have to learn how to reduce and do all this anyway. Except now it's gonna be harder because your opponents are gonna be stronger, so you're gonna get stuck for longer than if you had just learned it now. So I'm going to encourage you to learn this now. Yeah, so I think that will conclude our video for today. I think there's a lot of good lessons in this video. And yeah, I just showed how to just poke the eyes out, poke the eyes out, poke the eyes out. If you are struggling to poke the eyes out, a good mini game that you can play is a game where you fill up the edge of the board with black stones. Yeah, you just fill up the whole edge of the board with black stones and let someone stronger than you, like at least 5 ranks stronger than you, play white and try to kill them in the center. And the mini game is if they make one living group, they win, and if they don't, you win. So it's a really good exercise. However, there has to be a rank difference, because if you play someone your level, they should die every time. And if they don't, well, then that means you need to learn how to poke out their eyes. But that's a good exercise if you wanted to practice that too. Yeah, so with that, I think we'll conclude the Clossi Approach series video. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. All right, and that's the end of that video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's stream and the recording. As always, thank you all for watching. And yeah, hopefully I was able to answer the questions and teach you guys some new stuff. With that, I think we're going to go ahead and find someone to raid. See, Bats is streaming, so Bats is always a good raid. Yeah. So thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.